Hi, I'm Mary, and this is my presentation about the organization that I chose for this project in this class, which is Kaiser Permanente, which is my employer, the largest managed care provider in the United States. And if you don't live in the Western United States or some of the states that you might not be aware, but most people are starting to know what Kaiser is. I'm a nurse in the emergency department, and I've worked there for a few years and have pretty good knowledge, I think, about the company. So we'll go from there. All right, as you can see, Kaiser's strategic goal is to increase the number of patients, continue expanding to different states and markets, and also while keeping costs down and revenue up. I'll give you a little background on Kaiser. It's made up of three separate groups under one heading called Kaiser Permanente. The first one is the Kaiser Foundation Hospital Group, which is all of our inpatient hospitals. That's everything from surgery, ICU, medical, telemetry, and all of our other inpatient services. Employees work for the Kaiser Foundation Hospital Group. Then we also have the Kaiser Foundation Health Plan, which is the insurance. You can buy it on the open market. You can buy it on any of the exchanges if Kaiser's in the state where you live. And we also have Kaiser's like really big in Covered California, which is our insurance exchange through the Affordable Care Act. And then the third group is the Permanente Medical Group, which is also called TPMG, which is the group of physicians that work for Kaiser. Kaiser being a managed care plan, everything that you do is inside of Kaiser. Your doctor is at a Kaiser clinic. Your doctor is a Kaiser employee. Your nurse is a Kaiser employee. There's very little referring to the outside. There's some very small subspecialties that are referred outside. I work for TPMG, which runs outpatient surgery, the emergency departments, all the clinics, labs, etc., that are outside of the acute care setting. We have Kaiser is now in quite a few states. Right now we're in Colorado, Georgia, Hawaii, Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., California, Oregon, and Washington. The next step in our process after the coming up with a strategic goal is to do a SWOT analysis, which I have shown you previously. The strengths include longevity. Kaiser's actually been around since the 1930s here in California. They're a fully comprehensive care plan, which means everything is pretty much inside. Our theme is sort of today's work today. If you go to the doctor, but you really need a dermatologist or a podiatrist or a cardiologist, they would just walk you down the hall and they're right there. You don't have to get a bunch of referrals and go outside to different facilities. We are one of the first people to integrate, or one of the first organizations to integrate fully into an electronic medical record, which is a standard based by the federal government's mandates for 2014. We use an Epic program that most people are pretty familiar with, and it's fully inclusive. You go to your doctor, we can see everything that was done at the hospital. You come into the emergency department, we have your medication list, the note that your doctor last wrote, any telephone calls that you made with our nursing staff. And branding. I'm wearing my Thrive shirt. As you know, if you are at all familiar with Kaiser, you've probably heard our Thrive campaign ads. They're very popular, and it's been a huge success for us here in California and around our other operating areas. Our weaknesses are cost. In some areas, we're one of the more expensive plans based on competitors' pricing as well as meeting the demands for comprehensive care. Some of our areas that we operate in have kind of more limited services available, such as if you need a special cardiologist, you need a liver transplant, you need some more specialized care, we might not have that in your area, and we would have to send you to an outside agency, such as another healthcare organization, to get that care that you need for your sort of more specialized issues. And opportunities that Kaiser has is the online health exchanges under the Affordable Care Act gives the opportunity to advertise, and if you can get your care plan up towards the top as far as satisfaction, cost, etc., you have more chance to gain new membership through that service. We have started expanding into more markets. Kaiser is pretty well known for being sort of just on the West Coast, and now we're expanding to the East Coast as well as Hawaii. There are some states that have very few options for health insurance and or health organizations where they get their care. So if we can expand into some of those markets and give people some more options and perhaps give them some better care. Some of the threats to Kaiser, some of the other major medical organizations, healthcare providers are starting to do a comprehensive care plan, meaning they're starting to have their outpatient services be included with their hospital and be more like our model. And if they start doing that at a lower cost, that could be more competitive for us and make people maybe have more choices as far as if they like the style of how Kaiser is. The other weakness that or threat to Kaiser is also cost. Here in California, on the Covered California website, which is our federally mandated healthcare exchange, Kaiser is actually not the least expensive plan. It's a good plan for college students and young people and whatever, but if you're older or you have a family, it can be pretty expensive if you're buying your own health insurance. So it's not always the less expensive one, so that can be a threat as far as competition from other organizations. The next part of our strategic plan is the strategy mapping, which I've shown you here. The first part of the 3 goals that would be involved in our strategy is to increase membership, which would be through recruitment, advertising, and being listed on any of the healthcare exchanges. It would also include expanding into other markets where we're not currently present, such as other states or other parts of other states. The second part would be keeping costs low, meaning we have more people. We don't want our budget to go out the window because we have more members. That would mean expanding, building new facilities and such, but being cost conscious when doing that. In some areas, Kaiser has chosen to expand by sort of taking over hospitals that were not doing well and taking over their management, and then eventually remodeling, restructuring to make them part of our Kaiser family. The third one would be operational excellence. Once we have members, we want to keep them and we want to keep them healthy. So that would include working on patient satisfaction, safety goals, and making sure that we're meeting all the highest ratings for safety and being conscious of our patients and their health. The next step in the plan would be to create an action plan for a strategic goal. Each of the 3 groups that are under the Kaiser umbrella, TPMG, KFH, which is the Kaiser Foundation Hospitals, and the Kaiser Foundation Medical Plan, would have their own objectives for meeting this overall goal. The leadership team of Kaiser that oversees all 3 groups would probably be best suited to use managing by objectives. Each group of the 3 groups would be given their own goals and objectives to meet the overall goal, and this would be evaluated by the leadership team of Kaiser. We have a strategic plan that's organization-wide and includes multiple branches of a very large organization, would have multiple steps. The first step would probably be for the leadership team to come up with a plan and objectives for all employees and send that out to them via email and snail mail, which Kaiser is really well known for doing. The next step would be to for each branch of the 3 branches of Kaiser to come up with their own formal and informal way of communicating their particular goals to their employees in a timely fashion. Some of the strategies that have been used at Kaiser and other organizations that are very successful is having some formal communication of objectives, including a lecture-style meeting where everyone comes in and they give you dinner and they spend a couple hours explaining their goals and what you as an employee are expected to do to help reach those. The next would be things such as flyers, wall advertising. Hospital elevators are well known for all of the things that they're telling the employees when you get in. The next thing would be emails and snail mail, again, from the particular branch of Kaiser that you work for. The next would be an informal type of communication, which would include emails from my manager or from the leadership of the hospital or facility that I work at. And then such things as huddles. Every day when we come on shift, we have a huddle. Management, the director, and even higher up administrators come to the huddles when there's something important to be communicated with employees. They also use town hall meetings, which is, hey, today from 12 to 1, we're having a town hall meeting in the cafeteria with the hospital administration, and you can come get information about what's going on with our new plan and give your input on what you think might help. And that gives employees a chance to interact and be part of the plan, and giving them that strength and power to participate in the goals and objectives of their department and hospital and employer overall makes people more willing to participate and work harder towards the goal. The final step in any strategic plan is evaluation. Evaluating whether your strategic plan has been successful or needs changes is a very important part of this process. For such a broad goal, such as expanding markets for a very large organization, evaluation would come from the upper leadership within the organization. A lot of it would be financial, including whether increase in revenue from new members has not been washed out by the cost of expansion. Monitoring costs for multiple quarters to see the changes in cost of expansion versus the new revenue from new membership would be a very important part of evaluation. The other part of evaluation would be if we've gained new members, are they staying? Are we providing them with safe and effective care in a timely fashion that makes them want to be lifelong members for Kaiser? Getting new members is fine, but if they all leave in a year, that's not helping. So this would be a multiple quarter, maybe over 2 to 5 year plan of evaluating whether the strategic goal and plan have been carried out and have been successful. Thank you for watching my video.